Most people live only for the next week, not the next 5 years, not the next decade, just the next 7 days. They think about Friday, they think about the weekend, they think about what feels good right now, and because of that, they never build anything that lasts. They're trapped in a cycle of immediate gratification. They see something they want, and they want it now. They feel an urge, and they act on it immediately. There's no pause, no consideration of consequence, no thought about where this decision leads 5 years from now. This is the default mode of human behavior. We're wired for the present. Our brains evolved to prioritize survival in the moment, not success in the distant future. And in a world designed to exploit that wiring, most people never escape it. They live reactively. They respond to whatever stimulus is in front of them, and they wonder why their lives never change. Short-term thinking creates impulsive decisions. It makes you inconsistent. You start strong on Monday, but by Wednesday you've already given up. You say you want to change, but you only want it when it's easy. When it's hard, you choose comfort. You choose distraction. You choose what feels good in the moment, and you sacrifice what could have been yours in the future. Think about it. One missed workout doesn't ruin your health, but a year of missed workouts does. One night of poor sleep doesn't destroy your productivity, but months of poor sleep do. One impulsive purchase doesn't bankrupt you, but years of impulsive spending do. The pattern is always the same. Small decisions, repeated consistently, create your reality. Disciplined people think differently. They delay gratification to protect their future. They understand that what you do today determines who you become tomorrow. They don't need instant results. They don't need validation right now. They're willing to work in silence, to sacrifice in private, because they know that time rewards patience. They've made a fundamental shift in how they view time. They don't see it as something to kill. They see it as something to invest. Every hour is an asset. Every day is an opportunity, and they treat it accordingly. When everyone else is optimizing for comfort, they're optimizing for growth. When everyone else is seeking pleasure, they're seeking progress. When everyone else is asking what feels good right now, they're asking what serves their future self. And that difference in perspective changes everything. Delayed gratification isn't about deprivation, it's about prioritization. It's about understanding that you can't have everything you want right now and everything you want in the future. You have to choose. And disciplined people choose the future. Not because it's easy, but because they know that temporary discomfort is the price of permanent progress. Long-term vision makes daily sacrifices feel meaningful. When you can see 5 years ahead, missing one party doesn't hurt. Waking up early doesn't feel like punishment. Saying no to distractions doesn't feel like deprivation. It feels like protection. You're protecting the person you're becoming. You're protecting the life you're building. This is the power of vision. When you can see where you're going, the journey makes sense. The obstacles don't feel random. The setbacks don't feel personal. The sacrifices don't feel like losses. They feel like investments. And that reframe changes how you show up every single day. People with vision don't need external motivation. They don't need someone to push them. They don't need perfect conditions. They have something more powerful than motivation. They have clarity. They know exactly what they're building, and that clarity pulls them forward even when everything else is pushing them back. People without vision quit early because effort feels pointless. They work for a month and see no results, so they stop. They try for a season and don't get recognition, so they walk away. They don't understand that progress is invisible at first. They don't realize that the foundation is always built underground. And because they can't see it, they assume it's not happening. But here's the truth. Progress is always happening, even when you can't see it, even when you can't feel it. Every rep you do in the gym is building strength, even if the mirror doesn't show it yet. Every hour you spend learning is building knowledge, even if you can't apply it yet. Every day you show up is building character, even if no one notices yet. The people who succeed aren't more talented. They're more patient. They understand that results lag behind effort. They understand that the work you do today won't pay off today. it will pay off months from now, years from now. And they're okay with that, because they're not working for today. They're working for a future they can see clearly in their mind. Thinking long-term reduces emotional reactions to short-term setbacks. When you're focused on the next decade, one bad week doesn't destroy you. One failure doesn't define you. One rejection doesn't break you. You understand that setbacks are part of the process. You understand that the path is never linear. And because you're thinking long-term, you stay calm when others panic. This is one of the most underrated benefits of long-term thinking. Emotional stability. When you're focused on the next decade, the chaos of the next week doesn't shake you. You have perspective. You have context. You understand that this moment, no matter how difficult, is just one moment in a much longer story. But long-term thinkers are different. They've trained themselves to zoom out, to see the bigger picture, to understand that success is never a straight line. It's a series of ups and downs, wins and losses, progress and setbacks. And they've accepted that. They don't expect perfection. They expect process. And that expectation protects them from the emotional turbulence that destroys most people. This is about identity. It's about becoming someone who lives in alignment with their future self. It's not about motivation. It's not about inspiration. It's about deciding who you are and then living like that person every single day. Disciplined people don't wait to feel ready. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They simply become the person who does the work, regardless of how they feel. Identity is everything, because you will always act in alignment with who you believe you are. If you see yourself as someone who quits when things get hard, you will quit. If you see yourself as someone who only works when motivated, you will only work when motivated. If you see yourself as someone who needs external validation, you will always seek external validation. But if you see yourself as someone who finishes what they start, you will finish. If you see yourself as someone who shows up, regardless of how they feel, you will show up. If you see yourself as someone who is building something meaningful, you will build something meaningful. Your identity dictates your actions, and your actions create your reality. This is why disciplined people don't rely on motivation. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are temporary. They come and go. They fluctuate based on circumstances, energy levels, mood, but identity is permanent. It's who you are, and who you are doesn't change based on how you feel in the moment. So the question isn't, how do I stay motivated? The question is, who do I need to become? And once you answer that question, once you decide who you are, the actions become automatic. You don't have to force yourself to do the work. You just do the work, because that's who you are. The future belongs to those who are willing to live differently today. Not louder, not faster, just differently. While others chase comfort, you build capacity. While others seek approval, you seek progress. While others live for the weekend, you live for the life you're creating. And one day, years from now, you'll look back and realize that the discipline you practiced in private became the freedom you live in public. This is the paradox of discipline. It feels restrictive in the short term, but it creates freedom in the long term. Every boundary you set today expands your possibilities tomorrow. Every sacrifice you make today creates options you wouldn't have otherwise. Every moment of discomfort you endure today builds capacity for the life you actually want. Most people have it backwards. They think freedom means doing whatever you want, whenever you want, but that's not freedom. That's slavery to impulse. Real freedom is having options. Real freedom is having the skills, the resources, the character to create the life you envision. And that kind of freedom only comes through discipline. The person who can't wake up early is not free. They're controlled by their comfort. The person who can't say no to distractions is not free. They're controlled by their impulses. The person who can't delay gratification is not free. They're controlled by their desires. But the person who has mastered themselves, who has built discipline, who has developed the capacity to do what needs to be done regardless of how they feel, that person is free. Because they're no longer controlled by external circumstances. They're controlled by their vision, and that vision guides them toward the life they're creating. Long-term vision is the discipline of staying committed to a future you cannot yet see. And that commitment, repeated daily, is what separates those who dream from those who build.